The tip this week is a special request, and if you're not doing the master's program, you may not even be interested in this. This is the kind of how many angels on the head of the pin sort of thing. One of the things in the master's program that we focus on is that increases and decreases be worked so that they are inconspicuous and that they match the ones on the other side. And two areas where we seem to have difficulty as knitters is with SSKs, not matching a knit two together. I have some SSKs here. And with left slanting lifted increases, not matching the right. And I have done videos on those topics before, but what I'll often tell my basic students is you can kind of pretty these up after the fact. And this is within reason. If they are really gigantic, and you'll see in a minute, this probably isn't worth it. But for a project, let's say I were doing decreases on a neckline and I had these big ugly things here, I would do this because I would be picking up a band in the selvage or seaming or something. So that's what this is about. Now what you can do, you can see that this one is extra large, and actually I've stretched it a bit, same with this one to make it big, is that you can work some of this excess yarn into the surrounding stitches, and more particularly over to the selvage, because frequently increases and decreases are worked near the selvage. And so notice what I've done. I've just, on the side that's large, I've pulled half a stitch, then I'm spreading this out, following the yarn basically, and I'm just moving that excess yarn out to the selvage. Now for swatches, you're going to be limited as to how much you can do this, because you don't want a big ugly glop like that on your selvage. But if I were doing this in a project, that would be enclosed with stitches being picked up, so it wouldn't really matter. And actually, if I manipulate it a bit more, I can take it down a bit further. I can pull it in this direction and just kind of even it out so that, you know, it's not as bad. Now on the left slanting increases, where we see it is in the first stitch that you make. It just tends to kind of pull out, and if you watch it while you knit it, and always let me reiterate that it's best to try and make these things as small as possible when you're knitting them. This is a fix it at the end, last minute sort of thing, but it's not the best way. But it's this little guy right here tends to poof out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull some of that excess yarn. There it is there, there it is there, here, here, and then I'm going to take it over to my selvage. And again, you just follow the path of the yarn and want to kind of spread it out. Now again, if say this were something that were going to be seamed, that wouldn't make that big of a deal. Now when you want to do this is before you block. You don't want to block it, because that's going to kind of set those stitches in size and not going to be as favorable. Now you can see this is always going to puff up a little bit. Students will get worried and go, oh my god, it's so huge. Well, it's two stitches on top of each other. It is going to be bigger, and you can make it look better, but you're never going to make it look like there's not two stitches on top of each other. So you need to be realistic in your expectations. And see, it's looking pretty good right there. But anyway, someone requested to want to know how I do that, and that's how I do it. You just find the stitch and work any excess out to the selvage, and it's going to make it look a little better.